Dragon Ball Evolution is one of the most hated live-action adaptations ever made. A movie that was created in 2009 that almost ruined the Dragon Ball legacy. People hated it, fans hated it, critics hated it, even people who barely knew Dragon Ball hated it. I actually liked it though. Well, 11-year-old me did. Yeah, I know, I was a weird kid. But then my sister also likes it. And that's the part I didn't get. Because looking at it now, I completely understand why people hate this movie.
Close one. Doing good.
Hey man, how could you not? So what on earth was 11-year-old me seeing that everyone else wasn't? I mean, I enjoyed Shark Boy and Lava Claw. Also, I just think I experienced Dragon Ball in a different way. I was one of those kids who grew up watching Dragon Ball every afternoon. And the original, not even one episode. Electricity wasn't exactly reliable. So whenever Dragon Ball happened to be on, I caught whatever I could. One episode, a sticker, a toy, games years later, a random picture kids would draw and sell for $5 to us younger kids. That's how I experienced Dragon Ball, in pieces. Every little piece felt that important. I wasn't sitting there comparing Dragon Ball Evolution to hundreds of episodes. I wasn't asking what Krillin was. I don't even question why his nose is most of the time. Why Goku was suddenly in high school, or why Grandpa Gohan was still alive. I was just a kid, watching a movie about a character I really thought was the coolest guy ever. The pointy shoes, man. And honestly, the movie doesn't even start that badly. Yeah, it's bad, but not that bad. It opens with Goku training with Grandpa Gohan, and Kid Me immediately bought into that relationship. Kinda like Mr. Miyagi and Daniel. But shittier. First of all, I had absolutely no idea who Grandpa Gohan was. Yeah. I didn't know he was supposed to be dead. I didn't know Goku accidentally killed him. I didn't know anything. I just saw this old man training his grandson. I wanted Grandpa Gohan to train Goku into become this awesome fighter. I thought, oh, okay, this must be how Goku becomes the guy everyone talks about. Not quite as buff as those Dragon Ball stickers though. Then the boxing happened. And honestly, Kid Me thought that was sick. Disgusting? Yes, but sick. The fact that he could just kick bugs away like that. I wish I could do that. Then, Goku goes to high school. Back then, I wasn't sitting there going, that's not canon. I just thought, guess Goku goes to school. If Goku thinks math is cool, who am I to argue? Then this chick shows up. And to be honest, I had no clue who she was. I guessed she might be Bulma because of the blue streak. But mostly, I was just distracted by how pretty she was. I didn't know in the original Dragon Ball, Bulma and Yamcha were actually a thing. So when Yamcha came along, I really didn't like the guy. I always thought he was kinda lame. And Piccolo, I hated this dude. Not because he ruined Dragon Ball. I didn't know enough Dragon Ball to even think that. I hated him because he killed Grandpa Gohan. At that point, I wanted Goku to kick his ass. Years went by. Dragon Ball Evolution became just another movie I watched as a kid. Nothing more, nothing less. Even forgot it existed at one point. At that time, Naruto was actually the anime I watched the most. Dragon Ball, there were still pieces. I never knew when I would see Dragon Ball again. Then something happened. I finally started watching Dragon Ball properly. Not bits, not pieces, the actual story. And suddenly, everything started making sense. Grandpa Gohan, Krillin, Bulma, Yamcha, Mr. Roshi, Piccolo, you name them. I finally understood who these people actually were. And then, Dragon Ball Evolution came back on TV. I remember thinking, oh, let's see if it still holds up. It did not hold up. I was like, wait, why is Goku in high school? Where's Krillin? It wasn't just different. It barely understood the story was adapting. Bulma, Roshi, Yamcha. And that's when I realized I didn't change because I got older. I changed because I finally had all the missing pieces. It felt like I drank something sour. It just felt bitter. After watching Dragon Ball properly, years later, I finally understood why fans hated evolution. But then I started wondering, how does something like this even happen? Because no one wakes up one morning and accidentally makes Dragon Ball Evolution. It actually started 7 years before the movie even came out. Back in 2002, 20th Century Fox bought the live-action film rights to Dragon Ball. Then 2 years later, they hired screenwriter Ben Ramsey to write the script. Ben Ramsey wasn't some Dragon Ball superfan trying to bring Goku to life. Years later, he admitted something that surprised me. He said he took the job because it was a payday, not because he loved Dragon Ball. And honestly, I respect him for admitting that, because that apology couldn't have been easy. It might be one of the most honest apologies I've seen from a screenwriter. And here's where it gets interesting, because I don't think Ben Ramsey is the whole story. He's one piece. Pun definitely not intended. Director James Wong eventually rewrote parts of the screenplay. Stephen Chow's name was attached as producer. So I assumed, oh boy, this is gonna feel like Kung Fu Hustle. Yeah, not exactly. Turns out, Stephen Chow later explained he was more of a consultant than a hands-on creative producer, and that most of the feedback he gave wasn't accepted. Interesting. Then I found out something else. Akira Toriyama, the man who created Dragon Ball, gave feedback during production. It wasn't really listened to. Wait, let me get this straight. So, the creator of Dragon Ball was giving suggestions and they weren't using them? Is the creator blood? Suddenly, this wasn't starting to feel like one bad script. It felt like a whole chain of decisions. And honestly, I started feeling bad for Justin Chadman. Because imagine being remembered as live-action Goku. In this movie, he wasn't the one writing the script. He wasn't deciding the story. It just happened to be the face everyone remembers. Not excusing his bad acting though. Which is probably why, after all these years, the person who apologized publicly wasn't Goku. It was the writer. So, after everything, was Dragon Ball Evolution actually a good movie? No, definitely not. But I also don't think 11-year-old me was wrong for enjoying it. Because when I was 11, I wasn't reviewing movies. I wasn't comparing adaptations. I wasn't asking if something was canon. I was just trying to enjoy whatever little pieces of Dragon Ball I could find. Looking back, I don't think Dragon Ball Evolution fooled me. I think it made me exactly where I was. A kid who knew Goku and his characters, but didn't really know Dragon Ball. You know what I mean? And honestly, maybe that's why I defended it for so long. Because I wasn't defending the movie, I was defending my childhood. Those are two very different things, man. Eventually, I got to experience Dragon Ball the way millions of fans already had. The way South African kids like me experienced it when 5 p.m. hit and we had to stop playing outside and go watch it. The characters, the journey, the fights, the humor, the heart. And only then did I understand what everyone was so upset about. Dragon Ball Evolution didn't change Goku. It changed what made Dragon Ball Dragon Ball. But as strange as it sounds, I'm so glad I watched it. Because if I hadn't, maybe I would have never gone back to discover the real thing. So, thanks, I guess. But man, those were just my 2 cents. But now I want to know yours. Did you grow up with Dragon Ball? Or was Dragon Ball Evolution your first introduction too? Let me know down below. And go touch some grass, man. Or better yet, rewatch Dragon Ball Evolution. I dare you. Peace.